Hey y'all, I'm Lachlan, and for today I have another speed build, and it will be a carnival, so get excited for that. But like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed speed builds like this. But let's just jump right in. Okay y'all, so here is the area that I will be working on today, and I kind of got organized and ahead of myself by putting down dirt pretty much everywhere, and you'll see that because my idea for the pathing is going to be a little different than how I have done it previously. But as per usual, I have all the items that I'm going to be using in today's speed build right over here. And let me quickly get into why I am doing a carnival. So you know we have all those new 2.0 items, right? Well, if you saw my reaction video, kind of like the first looks into the new update, one of the things that I bought like right off the bat with Nook Miles was the giant inflatable elephant. And it's kind of one of those carnival-like-esque items. And so I knew because of that reason, I wanted to build a carnival on my island. And so it was pretty much a must. So this is the first speed build in a little bit that I'm actually showing you some of the terraforming that I've done, and kind of had an idea for this little spot here where I wanted to have, you know, a place where you win stuffed animals. Kind of like that, but I wanted to include the stuffies that you can win up on a second tier. And so I had to do the little tree trick where you can plant trees a little bit closer to the edge than you normally do and then get rid of some of this land around it. So I kind of wanted to leave this part in because it is kind of interesting how this piece of it kind of came together. I had an idea in my mind, and I'm just kind of glad it turned out as well as I thought it was going to. So you might already see kind of what I planned on doing and why I have dirt pretty much all over the place. But my idea for the pathing in this carnival area is to do an inverted path. And it's not something I've ever done before. I've only ever seen others do design builds like that, like Console Kato here on YouTube. I'm sure you've heard of her, but she's done inverted paths before, and it just looks really cool. So basically, the idea behind an inverted path, or what makes something an inverted path, is you put dirt or in-game pathing throughout this space that you're decorating. You pretty much put it down everywhere, and then instead of putting the path that you downloaded as the path, you put it around the edges of your build, and all that negative space that you're leaving behind, so the dirt areas will be the negative space on this build, is the new path that is formed instead. I hope that makes sense. You'll kind of see a little bit more clear version of that as you're seeing this build kind of come together. But the pathing was the most difficult part of this build for me. Like I said, I've never done it before, so I just am not used to using the path in this manner. So please bear with me, but that's what took the longest amount of time for me personally in this build. So I hope y'all enjoyed my last speed build that I did, and where I kind of went into details in regards to my new island, and I'm very close to getting that piece ready to go for speed builds like I mentioned in that video as well. But I hope you're kind of excited about it, because I know I kind of went into the idea behind it and the name and kind of how a roundabout way as to how I decided on a new theme and a new island. So I hope you're excited for that as much as I am. Now, in some of my most recent speed builds that you've seen, I've pretty much knew exactly where I was going to put the items and kind of a general idea or a more concrete idea as to how the pathing was going to go. But since, like I said, that this is more of an inverted path, it did take a lot more time for me, like I had mentioned, but I also wasn't very clear as to what I was doing. I kind of had a general idea as to where the big ticket carnival items were going to go. But other than that, a lot of this was kind of thinking on the fly as to what I wanted to do. So you do see a lot of things changing here and there. I don't know how much of it I'll leave in, but yeah, it was a lot more unclear for this build than my very recent 2 builds that I've done. So I think I'm gonna stop talking as much. I've already kind of recorded a video today, and in fact it was doing the beginning playthrough of Pokemon Legends Arceus, and so I'll mention it here as well. I just recorded my kind of first looks at that game, and I hope y'all are not too upset that I did something outside of Animal Crossing, but honestly I just really enjoy Pokemon, and it's something I, fell in love with at such an early age. And like I mentioned in that video, I feel like I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't play that game for one, but also kind of record doing it too, and kind of having those memories to look back on in the future. So I did record that video, so I've already done quite a hefty amount of talking for that video. So I'm gonna stop talking now and let y'all watch the rest of the speed build with some calming music on, and I'll come in towards the end. Oh, okay, y'all. So unfortunately, I did not get as far in this build as I thought I was going to get, but I underestimated myself in terms of how much I could get done and be able to edit the video down. I decided to do half of the Carnival build this time, and I will work on the other half for another video, but I will quickly do a run through, not my usual run throughs that I do. I'll do that in the second part. I did a little eating area over here, and then there's your little area that you win your stuffed animals at. So here's another better look at the actual terraformed area I did, where you can see on display all the stuffed animals. And then back here is the food preparation area, where the vendors that maybe are here have areas to prep their food at. And then here are the carousels, or the merry-go-rounds. I wanted to have multiple large items for this carnival build, and so having a little area specific for each attraction just was kind of my general idea what I wanted to do. And another portion that was easy enough to put together was the entrance areas here. But I hope y'all cue in to part 2 in the second video for this build, where I will be doing the Ferris wheels area and a sitting / fountain area as well. That will be the second 2 areas I work on for part 2. So like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified essentially when that second part comes out. And thank you so much for watching.